Jai Sitaram. Balakand, chapter 18. So far, we have seen the birth of the Lord, we have seen the relationship between Rama and Lakshmana and Bharata and Shatrughna. We have also seen the various qualities of the four brothers. We have seen how King Dasaratha is very fond of his four sons, whom he got after 60,000 years. We have also discussed the fact that Valmiki does not pay a lot of attention to very minute details about the childhood pastimes of Lord Rama, and from the birth till about 13 years of age, Valmiki just glosses over those details and he just gives a very rough overview, and that's it. He doesn't talk about going to Gurukula, and he doesn't talk particularly about the Upanayana ceremony. He just mentions that all the ceremonies took place very properly and they were perfect in all the Shastric knowledge. In this section, we are going to deal with sage Visvamitra arriving at the court of King Dasaratha. Even at this juncture, we don't really know the age of Lord Rama. However, Mother Sita mentions the age to the disguised Ravana in Aranyakand. She says that she and Rama spent 12 happy years in Ayodhya after their marriage, and when they left for the forest, Rama was 25 and Mother Sita was 18 years old. That means that Rama was 13 years when he got married and Mother Sita was 6 years when she got married. We know that Rama's birthday is Chaitra Masa Punarvasu Nakshatra. Towards the end of Balakand, we will learn that Rama's marriage was on Chaitra Masa Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, which comes about 5 days after Ram Navami. So Rama was 13 years and few days old at the time of his birth. Mother Sita's birthday comes one Navami after Ram Navami, and therefore, technically speaking, Mother Sita was 5 years, 11 months old during the time of her wedding. These are very precise calculations, but Valmiki does not reveal this information right at this point. But throughout Valmiki Ramayana, we get to see many informations are mentioned retroactively, and we have to understand at that time according to Valmiki's wish. It is also interesting for us to note that Balakand has multiple sections. So the first section was the inspiration to write Valmiki Ramayana, and Kusha and Lava singing Valmiki Ramayana to Rama and the various Ayodhya Vasis. Next, we see the brief description of the city of Ayodhya, the king Dasaratha, and the various priests and ministers. So this is the next section. The third section was the fact that King Dasaratha coaxed Rishi Shringa to conduct the Putrakameshti Yajna, and thus this leads to the birth of the Lord and his three brothers. Now we are going to reach the next major section, and that is Sitaram Kalyan. So in Sitaram Kalyan, the first portion is Rama going off to the forest with Lakshmana under the guidance of sage Visvamitra. There he will kill Tataka, then he will annihilate Subahu, and he will throw away Maricha. And we are going to see how he protects the yajna of Visvamitra. Then we will go off to Mithila. En route to Mithila, sage Visvamitra relates the most delightful tales to the Lord, which we will cover in very great detail. Then he will see Ahalya Ashrama and revoke her curse. Then we will see the bow sacrifice, and then finally the the wonderful marriage of Mother Sita and Lord Rama, which we will discuss in very great detail. So, right now, from this verse onwards, we are going to segue into another major pastime. This is the reason why we have to understand the great divisions mentioned in Balakand. Chapter 38. Tasya chintayamanasya mantri madhye mahatmanah abhyagachat mahateja Visvamitra mahamuni. Now Dasaratha one day took deep counsel with his high priest and his kinsmen about the approaching marriage of his boys, when unto him among his ministers came all unexpected the great sage Visvamitra of high spiritual luster. Verse 39. स राज्ञो दर्शन आकांक्षी द्वार अध्यक्षान् उवाचः शीघ्रम् आख्यात मां प्राप्तं कौशिकं गाधिनः सुतम्. Desirous to have an audience with the king, Visvamitra said to the wardens of the gate, "Let the king know that Visvamitra, the son of Gadhi, the descendant of King Kusha, is here to see him." Verse 40. Tat shrutva vachanam tasya rajño veshma pradudruva sambhranta manasah sarve tena vakyena kodita. In great fear and trepidation, they quickly rushed to the palace of King Dasaratha. Verse 41. Te gatva raja bhavanam Visvamitram rishim tada praptam avedayamasu nripaya ikshvakave tada. On arriving at the king's palace, the doorkeepers announced to the king of Ikshvakus, King Dasaratha, about the arrival of the great sage Visvamitra. Verse 42. Tesham tat vachanam shrutva sa purodha samahita prati ujjagama samkhrishto brahmanam ivam vasava. The king made haste to welcome the sage very carefully and humbly, even as Indra welcomes Brahma. His face shone with gladness at the sight of Visvamitra of stern austerities, and through Vashishta he extended unto him all rights of hospitality. Verse 43. Tam drishtva jvalitam deeptya tapasam samshita vratam prakhrishta vadana raja tatah arghyam upaharayat. Seeing Visvamitra shining with the power of his penance, the king with a cheerful countenance made offerings with due respect. Verse 44. स राज्ञा प्रतिगृह्य अर्घ्यं शास्त्र दृष्टेन कर्मणा कुशलं च अव्ययं च एव पर्यपृच्छत् नराधिपम्. Visvamitra graciously accepted the king's kindness that was offered to him scripturally and customarily. He inquired after his welfare. Verse 45. Pure koshe janapade bandhaveshu sukhritsu cha kushalam kaushiko rajña paryaprichat sudharmika. Art thou ever intent on gathering rare and valuable objects and increasing the collection? Are thy kin and friends happy and the subjects in thy capital and the kingdom? Is thy treasury growing? Verse 46. Apite sannataha sarva samam ta ripavo jita daivam cha manusham cha eva karma te sadhu anushtitam. Are thy subject princes obedient and loyal to thee? Are your enemies conquered? Art thou regular in thy sacrifice to the gods and other religious observances? Dost thou duly acquit thyself of thy duties as a man and as a king? Do thy guests receive hospitable entertainment at thy hands? Dost thou make right use of the various methods of kingcraft? Verse 47. Vasishtam cha samagamya kushalam munipungava rishim cha tan yatha nyayam mahabhaga uvachaha. He then proceeded to inquire after the health and welfare of Vasishta, Vamadeva and the other sages. Verse 48. Te sarve khrishta manasa tasya ragnyo niveshanam vivishuh pujitah tena nisheddu cha yatha arhatah. Pleased with his attentions to them, they proceeded to the audience chamber and took their usual seats. Verse 49. Atha Khrishta Mana Raja Visvamitra Mahamunim Uvacha Paramo Udaro Khrishta Tam Abhipujayan. Then the great munificent Dasaratha, extremely pleased with the arrival of sage Visvamitra, approached the sage and with great joy exclaimed. Here it is interesting to note that Visvamitra is a very great sage, but Valmiki calls Dasaratha as Paramodara. Valmiki calls Visvamitra as Mahamuni, that he is a very great sage. But Dasaratha is known as Paramodara. That means Udara is highly generous, but Paramodara means extremely generous. Why is Valmiki calling these two great personalities with these two distinct adjectives? Visvamitra is a Mahamuni based on his tapasya, based on his austerities, based on the strict vows that he has undertaken. And we will go through those strict vows in very great detail once we reach Mithila. But we need to understand that Visvamitra was a highly effulgent sage. And Dasaratha is extremely happy that such a great sage has arrived at his kingdom, at his palace, is now seated in his assembly right now. And he has an opportunity to render some service to this great sage. But what is the service that Visvamitra needs from King Dasaratha? He wants Rama. He wants Rama. And we will see that there are going to be lots of protestations and things like that from King Dasaratha. But then ultimately, at the behest of sage Vasishta, King Dasaratha does give his very life, his beloved Rama and Lakshmana, to Visvamitra for the benefit of this entire world. It is always for the benefit of the entire world. And of course, Vasishta assures him that Visvamitra is a highly powerful sage and he is going to protect Rama. And then the Vatsalya Bhava of King Dasaratha is pacified and he recognizes the fact that his beloved son is going to be protected. And thus he sends Rama and Lakshmana to go out to the forests with Visvamitra. So, he is Paramodhara, the greatest giver, the one who is highly generous, because Rama, as we will see in Ayodhya Kand, is not just his son. He is Dasaratha's very life. That is the level of affection that Dasaratha has for Lord Rama. And Rama is his very life. And entrusting that life to Visvamitra for the benefit of the entire world gives him the title of Paramodara. Verses 50 and 51. Yatha amritasya samprapti yatha varsham anudake yatha sadrisha dareshu putra janma aparajasya vai pranashtasya yatha labho yatha harsho mahodaye tatha eva agamanam manye svagatam te mahamuni. O Holy One, This kind visit of thine, which I never dared to dream of, gladdens my old heart more than if a mortal came by the waters of immortality. More than welcomed rains to parched deserts, more than a son born to one in his old age of his lawful wife, more than recovered treasure to the loser, more than the marriages of their children to fond parents. Verses 52 and 53. Kam chate paramam kamam karomi kimu harshitah patra bhuto asi me brahman dishtya prapto asi manada adya me safalam janma jivitam chasu jivitam Yasmad viprendram adraksham suprabhata nishamama. Has thy journey hither been a pleasant one? What shall I do to gratify thy wishes? Blessed am I in that heaven has sent me one than whom I can desire no fitter recipient. Fair is the day that brought thee here. It is now that my birth has borne fruit, and this my long life here. Verse 54. Purvam Rajarishi Shabdena Tapasa Dyotita Prabha Brahma Rishitvam Anuprapta Pujyosi Bahudha Maya. As a royal sage, there was no wish of thine that thou didst not gratify. Then by dreadful austerities thou becomest a Brahma Rishi, and thy heart knows no desire. Every way thou art an object of reverence and honor unto me. Dasaratha is saying that as a king, Visvamitra could gratify his wishes, and as a sage, he is more than capable of gratifying all the wishes. So why has he come to Dasaratha? What can Dasaratha do for Visvamitra? And this gives us a very important point. One can be the biggest of all kings. One can be the greatest of all saints. However, they are always below a devotee, because the devotee has the Lord. The Lord resides in the heart of a devotee. Therefore, even the greatest of yogis, the greatest of kings, the greatest of people with great material wealth, they are always poor because they don't have the Lord. They are rich only when they come to a bhakta and beg for the assistance of the Lord. But of course, we should realize that Visvamitra is also a very great devotee, and there is a particular reason why he is coming to King Dasaratha. It is also the responsibility of such great sages to teach the world that a king must sacrifice everything to protect the Brahmanas in his kingdom, to protect Varnashrama Dharma in his kingdom. And we will see when Tataka is killed that Visvamitra cites Varnashrama Dharma as a reason to kill Tataka. Visvamitra cites that Rama should do this to protect Brahmanas and cows, which is the chief goal of Varnashrama Dharma. So this is the reason why, even though Visvamitra is a great devotee himself, he comes to the door of the great Bhakta, King Dasaratha. We should also observe the absolute humility with which King Dasaratha asks sage Visvamitra as to how he can help him. How would he like him to serve him? Verse 55. Tat adbhutam abhut vipra pavitram paramam mama shubhakshetra gatah cha aham tava samdarshanat prabho. Thy visit here has washed away my sins, and it is a wonder to me indeed when I come to think of it. A sight of thy holy face has transported me to the regions of the blessed. So Dasaratha is telling us that by just looking at Visvamitra, he has gone to Shubhakshetra, or an extremely holy place or a pilgrimage. This should be enough proof of the fact that Visvamitra is also a highly advanced devotee. Verse 56. Bruhi yat prarthitam tubhyam karyam agamanam prati icham anugrihito aham tvadartham parivriddhaye. Allow me to perform thy behests and deserve thy grace. Verse 57. Karyasya na vimrasham cha gantum arhasi suvrata karta chaham asheshena daivatam hi bhavan mama. O great sage, you need not hesitate to tell me what ought to be performed. I shall accomplish that act in every possible special way. Art thou not a god unto me, a household deity? Verse 58. Mama chayam anuprapto mahan abhyudyayo dvija tava agamana jah kritsno dharma cha anuttamo mama. Thou hast come unto me only for my greatest good, and thy visit has increased my religious merit. So basically, King Dasaratha is asking sage Visvamitra not to hesitate to acquaint him with the object of his journey, and whether it is small or great, Dasaratha gives his word to accomplish it unto the least detail. Verse 59. Iti hridaya sukham nishamya vakyam shruti sukham atmavata vinitam uktam prathita guna yasha gunai vishishta parama rishi paramam jagama harsham. So in all humility and from a full heart spoke Dasaratha, born of the ancestors who reckoned among them such famous men as Trishanku. The words fell sweet upon the ears of the noble sage, and his heart was glad thereat. So obviously Visvamitra is highly pleased by the sweet and humble words of King Dasaratha. And in the next chapter, we will see how sage Visvamitra asks King Dasaratha to give him Lord Rama. Mangalam Koshalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdeye Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sitaram.